Hey, Frank here. Just going to get in here and talk about yesterday's race at Echo Park Speedway. We're going to talk about the race winner and how he tied a NASCAR record. We're going to talk about some crashes and all the fun stuff that went on during the race. We're going to start from the very beginning here, work our way to the end of the race. So let's go. First incident that I have here was on lap 30. Carson Hocevar got a flat tire. And made a pit stop under green, causing him to go 2 laps down. Eventually, he would make that up and get back on the lead lap and end up getting the top 5 finish out of that. So that's a good turnaround for him, and that's 2 races in a row that he could have won. And we'll talk about the winner here in a bit, but that winner also had his chance to win 2 in a row. Stage 1 race winner was Austin Cindric. There was no crashes. There was some good racing, just nobody being chaotic. It was more tame. You had green flag pit stops, and Austin Cindric came from the back of the pack, I think 33rd, to wind up getting a stage win. So he has a good car. Ultimately, he was caught up on later wrecks, causing him to not have a good finish. Lap 82 caution was caused by Ty Gibbs and Josh Berry going for basically the same spot, triggering a 8-car crash that took out Ty Gibbs and Josh Berry. That ended their days before they really got even halfway through the day. I think this was either this one or the next one that Carson Hocevar got on the lead lap, because stage 1 would have been back on 1 lap, and then this caution could have been on lead lap. I'm not sure at this point, but then we fast forward to lap 103. That was caused by Riley Herbst hitting the left rear bumper of Austin Dillon, causing him to spin, triggering a 7-car crash that took out Riley Herbst and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. No good finish for Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He's good at these tracks, but he was taken out in this almost halfway through the race. And then we go up to lap 125, and a heartbreaking for fans of him, want to see him win. Kyle Busch getting a single car spin after getting loose off of 2 and getting hit by Noah Gragson. He hits the inside wall a ton, taking his car out of the race. And then the next thing that happened was at the end of stage 2, Kyle Larson doing Kyle Larson things, goes from the top of the racetrack to the bottom of the racetrack, and ends up wrecking himself off of the nose of Shane Van Gisbergen, triggering both of them to spin into the infield. But where Larson hit the SVG, he went up back into traffic. Luckily enough, no one else hit him, because that could have been another multi-car crash. But ultimately, Kyle Larson slammed the outside wall, taking his car out of the race. He ends up finishing 32nd, I think, in the race. As a result, NASCAR threw the caution. Coming down the green and white checker, they should have just let it go, but they chose not to in this instance, which allowed Bubba Wallace to get his stage win. I think it's 2 races in a row he got a stage win. And that ended stage 2. Then we go up to lap 200, where SVG, Shane Van Gisbergen, spins out in the infield again, but he didn't hit anything. He just had to get some tires and right back into it. Ultimately, he got a top 5 or top 10 finish out of the race. So he with all the adversity that he went through, he still managed to get a top 10. So there's that. Lap 224, Denny Hamlin got loose and then got hit by Joey Logano, triggering a 9-car crash. Not really any big impacts here. Only car that really was taken out was Connor Zillage, and only other car that suffered any kind of damage that I saw was Tyler Reddick. But he was able to continue on, obviously, and finish the race. Then we go up to lap 238. Joey Logano came down the track and basically pulled a Kyle Larson, just not as extreme, and got himself turned. And spun in the infield, got some flat tires, had to get new tires, and this basically took him out of any contention for the race win. Then we go to lap 257, while William Byron gets loose, smacks the wall, and drops in the field, and before he can gather it back up, he gets hit, and that triggered the biggest crash of the day, 11-car crash. that took out Austin Dillon, William Byron, Todd Gillen out of the race. And this also caused the red flag and triggered our first attempt at a green-white checkered. And on that green flag, before they even made it to turn one, Carson Hocevar doing Carson Hocevar things. Hurricane Hocevar makes it 3 wide in a space that was there when he moved, but closed up before he even got there, which caused Christopher Bell to get hit and to go up the outside wall and slammed into it, taking him out of the race, immediately triggering a caution. So we go to overtime attempt number 2. This was chaotic, not enough time to get some massive runs, but the runs we were getting was ultimately thwarted when Bubba Wallace went high and the field went in underneath him, and that caused the field to separate, killing any potential runs that could develop. And by the end of it, it ended up being Tyler Reddick, who came out first, and won the race, winning it back-to-back, which is something that hasn't been done since 2009, which is only the 6th time it's ever happened in all of NASCAR history. The first time was Marvin Patch in 1957. He was the first to do it. And Bob Welborn also did it in 1959. And then David Pearson did it in 1976, followed by a large gap to 1997 when Jeff Gordon did it. And then the last person before Tyler Reddick was Matt Kenseth in 2009. Fun fact about these 6 drivers, only 3 are champions. And on the year they did it, only one won the title, and that was Jeff Gordon. So don't look into it too hard, saying, Tyler Reddick, because he's going to win the championship. It's not a guarantee. History says it's not a guarantee. So, but we'll see. He may do it, he may not. But just because you start hot don't mean you're going to be hot all year, especially in today's NASCAR. Ultimately, it was a good race. I enjoyed it. I give it an 8 out of 10. I'm just really curious how this racetrack's going to go as it ages, because the older it gets, the more the tires are going to wear, the more that the handling will come into play, and we'll go from whatever this hybrid super speedway style racing to probably more of a late 90s Daytona style, Daytona Talladega, mostly Daytona, where the field was separated. You had a pack of 7-8 cars in the lead pack going single file, basically doing dive bombs, basically biding their time till the end of stage 1 or stage 2, ultimately the end of the race. And by that time, there's going to be a lot of riding around, less cautions, and there is cautions. There's going to be 1 to 3 car crashes because the field's going to be spread out. And it'll probably go from that to more maybe 80 style super speedways mixed in with 1.5 miles. And at that point, they might have to think about whether they need to change the package for Atlanta to a new unique package to them, because with the current restrictions, they're going to be going slow, and they're going to be slow. It's going to be like 550 package, just not as nice, because they're going to have to let off in the corners and stuff. Cars are going to slow down, so they're going to have to give it more power, is what I'm saying. Or they're going to do like less drag or something. Just we're going to have to do something at that point. Or if they leave it, then that's on them, because cars are just going to go slower and slower as the track surfaces ages. But ultimately, that's what I got. I might do a video later today or tomorrow if there any news breaks or anything. So that'll be my next video. Comment your thoughts on the race, what you gave it, what you would give this race, what you liked, what you didn't like about it. And like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. And so over and out.